Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a student success guide for a 7-week accelerated cybersecurity course.
Yeah, a really intense one.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack the exact blueprint for surviving and, well, thriving in a rapid-fire competency-based education model, or CBE.
It's quite the system.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if you are used to traditional classes where you just scrape together enough random points to pass, this document is going to be a massive shock to the system.
Oh, for sure. It completely throws out the traditional point hoarding method. I mean, in a standard classroom, if you bomb a major midterm but ace your finals,
Your average saves you.
exactly, your overall average might still get you a passing grade. But the CBE model doesn't care about averages at all. It is strictly about demonstrating mastery of specific required competencies. You either prove you can execute the skill or you just don't move forward.
It feels less like a typical classroom and more like, I don't know, a high-stakes escape room. You can't just skip a puzzle you don't understand and hope your overall score averages out in the end.
Right, you're locked in.
Yeah, you're locked in until you crack the code. And because you only have 7 weeks, the sheer volume of work means you have to maintain a relentless pace on Talon, which is their digital learning platform. It's like running a marathon, you know? You can't just sprint at the very end to do a bunch of assignments.
What's fascinating here is how that pacing forces a completely different approach to learning. Waiting until week 6 to cram is just mathematically impossible in this structure.
Yeah, there's just too much to get through.
Right. But, I mean, it makes perfect sense when you consider the subject matter. This is cybersecurity.
Yeah, a firewall that is only 79% secure is a network that is 100% breached.
Precisely. I mean, you don't want a cybersecurity professional who mostly understands encryption, but occasionally leaves the back door wide open.
No, definitely not.
So that demand for absolute competence is why revision is built directly into the learning process here. You are required to try again until you actually get it right.
And because failure isn't an option, the grading system itself completely changes. The evaluation uses 5 specific ratings. Exceeds, proficient, approaching, needs work, and no evidence.
Right, which means the course only awards A's, B's, or F's.
Wait, so a score anywhere from 0 to 79.9 is just a flat-out F.
Yep. There are absolutely no C or D grades to hide behind. The target is always at least proficient. If your work is marked approaching or needs work, well, you haven't mastered it yet, and you have to revise.
Here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly a bit baffling. The guide explicitly states that all of those required revisions must be completed before the assignment's original due date.
I know, it sounds crazy.
Wait, how is that even physically possible? Like, if I submit an assignment on the due date and it needs work, I've already missed the revision window. That sounds like a complete setup for failure in a rapid 7-week course.
It sounds punishing, yeah. But it's actually a mechanism to force early submissions. The guide makes it clear that students cannot assume they have a magical, unlimited runway for rework after deadlines pass.
So you have to build in your own buffer.
Exactly. The course demands continuous improvement, but strictly within the established schedule. If you want the safety net of feedback and revision, well, you have to submit your work days before the actual clock runs out.
Because revisions are mandatory, the timeline becomes your biggest enemy. If you miss a single deadline, the dominoes fall. So what does this all mean for someone who inevitably hits a wall? Like, in a 7-week sprint, life happens.
The domino effect is exactly why their extension policy is so ruthless. Extensions are not automatic.
They aren't guaranteed at all, are they?
No, definitely not. If you need a lifeline, you must contact the instructor with a valid reason at least 48 hours before the deadline. Not the morning of, and definitely not after the due date has sailed past.
Wow. They are essentially demanding you forecast your own failure 2 days in advance.
Pretty much. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, this entire system rewards proactive communication over retroactive excuses. I mean, the instructors are positioned as coaches to help you reach proficiency.
But you have to give them the time to actually do that coaching.
Exactly. It mirrors a professional environment. If you're going to miss a critical client deliverable, you tell your boss on Wednesday, not Friday at 5.
Yeah, it's essentially a boot camp for the professional tech world. So for everyone listening, if you are diving into a high-speed CBE course like this, remember the 3 pillars of success. Stay relentlessly on schedule, achieve actual proficiency rather than just ticking a completion box, and communicate early when challenges arise.
Yeah, you're learning how to be genuinely competent rather than just learning how to game a syllabus.
And it leaves you wondering, If the academic world is slowly shifting to this prove it or fail model, how long until the corporate hiring world stops looking at traditional degrees entirely and only cares about a verifiable portfolio of competencies? Something to think about.